So Marvin, thank you for coming in today.
No
Me
problem.
and you met in a pretty mad situation.
When was this? Last week, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I was in the sweet shop buying some sweet, trying to figure out what sweets to buy.
What poison to buy?
Yeah,
which
what
is
poison,
the best of all the poisons.
and this geezer walks in and he says, hold him up, we're going to rob the place. And I was like, yeah, if you rob the place, I'll have this, that. Turns out it was yours truly. And we ended up shooting the breeze for about 5 minutes in the shop. I woke up on Saturday morning, I think it was about 8 o'clock. I was getting ready to go to the gym or whatever. To a couple of text messages, and we had a text conversation. I was like,
text up early doors.
I was like, who the F is this? And
these are the days where I can get up now. Years ago, I wouldn't have. I would just been out for 3 or 4 days. But nowadays, I'm waking up and like, boom, I'm gonna fucking text him straight away.
On a Saturday morning.
Saturday morning, because I had a lovely chat. We was in the shop and it just went bam, 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 with a little bit of banter. And before we knew where we were talking about life and what's happening on the streets.
Definitely, and there was so much synergy there. And to get the messages on the Saturday morning, I was like, I had to tell someone I met this really interesting geezer the other day in the sweet shop, and it's like, no, I don't really meet interesting people. I don't really.
But that's how the world's happening now. You know what? Since the world's waking up, regardless of whether you're religious or not, there is a universe, and it is now connecting people because we are all bouncing off of each other. Do you know what I mean? It's like
definitely.
10 minutes before you was having a conversation about the same sort of thing, and then I've come in, bang, bang, bang,
exactly.
and me and you're like, what?
And
Do you know what I mean? Most people would have thought we was having a row, but we was actually bantering.
I know, right?
Oh, I said, yeah, and he's going, no, and I'm going, no.
And here we are. But I guess it's all about, as you said, the universe is doing its thing. But it is all about synergies, right? People need to have things that connect us, and I guess it was a couple of things. I guess we'll get onto those in a minute about that really directly connected us, and it comes down to.
Well, me and you are a different age, so me and you are like. I'm 50 now.
Oh yeah, well it's a clean decade. I'm 40 this year.
Right, perfect. So me and you went to school in the old days where there wasn't so much. Hold on. I'll just wait for him to start rattling around. Me and you went to school in the old days when there wasn't mobile phones and all of this stuff. So I remember like actually speaking to my pals and having a conversation. So me and you have still got the art of looking someone in the eye and sparking up a conversation, because we're not so introverted into the mobile phone that we think that we can't even have a chat.
Even down to talking to women. Like, I can't do online dating
if you can't pull a bird, man.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, listen, a girl wants to be chatted up in the street, not this online business.
This is
Timotei. Do you remember the Timotei advert?
Look,
yes, when a geezer gives you flowers,
exactly.
He wants to get hold of you for hours.
And even even down to that. So it's like, you've got to still be able to talk to, and people like human interaction. And I've always, as you can, I'm always a good talker. I like to talk.
Yeah.
As what was it, the orange
Buzzbee.
advert? It's good to talk, isn't it?
Good to talk.
Yeah.
The old BT advert.
Yeah, the old BT advert.
Yeah.
So
now you are showing your age now, bruv. You know what I mean?
In it.
That was a long time. That was even before scratch cards and top up cards and the 1-to-1. Do you remember what T-Mobile 1-to-1? 1-to-1. You better call your mum.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
So solid days, wasn't it?
I remember I used to have remember the Sony Ericsson phones, but it had an antenna.
Yeah.
And I used to hold the antenna just to get, and I thought I was cool as F.
We were
though.
I used to have my Nokia. Remember when you used to buy the little aerials that flashed?
Yeah.
I mean, years ago they made money out of. My mate had a big shop in Edgware Road, and it was just clip-on faces on fucking mobile phone shops.
Oh my days!
And to get my first mobile phone, mate, I had to jump through hoops upon hoops upon.
Look.
You had to know a man who knew a man who could get you a contract and blah blah blah, and it was still £1.
I don't know
in them days.
Yeah. And so you've obviously seen how it's changed, but
so we know that life hasn't changed for the best. So let me just take it back from the beginning. So apart from meeting you in the sweet shop, where did you come from? Which bit of London are you from? Where did you start? Let's start from kind of like the beginning, and then we'll take you through your journey.
I've always been North London, Northwest London. My parents came over My dad used to work for an airline. My parents came over to London. I've got 6 siblings.
Big family.
Yeah, big family.
So you all live in North London. Everyone come. Was you born in this
No,
country?
I was born in Nairobi, Kenya.
Really?
Yeah.
So you got a full Kenyan passport?
No, I'm not Kenyan.
Are you not Kenyan?
No, I'm from Cameroon. I've got a British passport. Yeah.
You've got a British passport. But
Yeah,
can you not get 2 passports? Because the way that this country's going, son.
Yeah.
The next passport is worth more than the English passport.
I do, but I'm not gonna hot myself up.
No, he's not going to tell you where he's going to run away to. We're going to run, but we don't going to tell you where.
Yeah. No, I've got a couple of passports, in fact.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
All legit, all above board.
Yeah.
Because of just different concoctions in the makeup, but I've always seen
called options, brother. Nowadays,
it's
called options. You've got to
options.
have these things ready.
Yeah. So grew up in North London. Did my thing. Always, lover of football. Played football for a couple of years.
Right, yeah. What football team do you support?
I'm an Arsenal fan.
That's the trouble. I knew that was going to come. I know what I mean,
well, mate, that's why I look so good.
Yeah, that's what it is. That's what it is. Fucking hell. So you went to school there. How was that? What was it like?
School was good, and then I spent a couple of years outside of London, like attached to some football clubs.
Right. So he was playing professional.
Yeah, no, this is all YTS stuff, like youth football. But back in the day, you couldn't.
That was a progression in the day football.
Yeah, but you couldn't play for a football club that was more than an hour away from your home.
Right.
So I had to go. I went to school closest to a football club.
Right.
And then came out at 16 I did my GCSEs. As I said, I'm a bit of a genius. I got 11 GCSEs.
Right, you're a bookworm.
Not really a bookworm. I'm just able to learn.
Yeah. But academically, you enjoy academia. Are you good with? Are you a words person or a numbers person? I'm
a words person, but and I know some really I know some genius people. But the way I am is, if I'm interested in something, I can learn anything. I know that.
Yeah.
And so after.
And everybody else in the family particularly clever. So out of 6 of y'all. What's
out of 6 of us,
and where are you? Early.
I'm slap bang in the middle. I'm number 3 in it, so you can tell.
So mum and dad had how many boys, how many girls?
4 boys, 2 girls.
Blessed.
Yeah.
Blessed. So the sisters have got 4 big brothers to chase.
No. The eldest is I got like number 1 was a girl.
Number 1 was the girl.
Yeah, and then a brother, and then it was me, and then a girl, and then brothers underneath.
Lovely.
And so then I did my A levels. I did French, history, and law. Went on, did a law degree. After my law degree, no gap years. Went straight.
Steamed into it.
Did a master's in oil and gas law. And then I went off to America to play football for a few years.
Yeah, but listen, at that stage in time in life,
you got to do.
Nobody knows what's happening. What you need to do as a young person is take something and fucking just do it to the point where you finish it.
Yeah. People doing gap. I don't believe in gap years and stuff, because that year where I'm doing nothing.
Where does gap year work in the real world? It doesn't work in the real world anywhere.
You can't take a year off work
I'm
just
going to
because you want
the
to.
Job today on Wednesday, but I'm going to walk off for the rest of the week and I'll be back next week. No, don't work that way, mate. Plus, everything you've learned, you're a bit rusty. So get into it. Get into it quickly.
Definitely. And so, and I've always been like that. There's no time off.
What are you having time off for?
And that's kind of translated into
your work ethic.
Into my work ethic now. I don't go on holiday. I've travelled, but I haven't been on holiday.
A working person who works for themselves, who's an entrepreneur, whatever you call self-employed, there is no day off.
There is no day
Saturdays,
off.
Sundays, 24 hours a day, you're welded to the phone.
I work to deadlines, and so for the last 5 years, I would say that my life has been morphed into just long ass days, and these days are the equivalent of weeks and months. Yeah. Because you say, do you know what I mean? And I think I've grown in that sense. We'll kind of come on to that in terms of what my
you've come through town. So you went to the thing. You went and had a gap year. So what was America like?
America was amazing. So this was in the era when David Beckham had just moved over.
Right.
So football was kicking off.
Right. So which part of America were you? How long was you there?
I went over to California.
What, burning? Before the fires?
Yeah.
They mashed it up now.
Yeah,
Son.
no,
There's nothing left of
I
it now.
was in Northern California in San Francisco.
Nice.
That was really, 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 really nice. It's an amazing experience. Just gone out there by myself.
Really?
Attached to a football club. They've dumped me in.
So how old was you when you went to America?
I was 22.
Perfect age. Perfect age.
So I just finished my masters.
Lovely.
I didn't even graduate.
Let me just ask you this: do American birds absolutely love English geezers?
Absolutely do. Yeah.
Nice.
But it can't. It's and so I would walk around like talking really loud.
You know what I mean? Here I am.
And the thing is, you
didn't go to a Diddy party, did you?
Nah.
What about all of that madness? Listen, there's nastiness that has been going on for a long time. It doesn't matter which type it is, man.
I'm gonna say this. Diddy did what he did, but look into the issue with Diageo and P Diddy, and then you'll understand why he's in jail.
Listen, he's in jail because the motherfuckers have put him there. He's the fool guy. It's always the way. The man that you see up the front is the man up the front.
Yeah.
And listen, he sold his arse and everything else, and them motherfuckers are cashing it in. And they cashed in all of these people. You are collateral. You're put in front to collateral, and all the rest of it is just noise.
It comes down, and there's obviously everyone's gonna have an opinion and stuff like that. And I'm not trying to have.
If it looks like gold,
opinions.
It's not necessarily shiny, because you know what it's done. It's, if you look at the next generation, we've had a whole generation of. I mean, and I'm massively into. Well, I'm a Sound Clash man.
Okay.
Hip hop, yeah, to a certain extent, but you know that whole R&B and all of that bits and pieces. You look back and you think, "Oh man, they were all getting rumped by each other, so it weren't that bad boy type of thing, was it?" When you look at it, it's all just made the whole gangster rap thing just sound a bit fucking. But you know who Ice Cube was hardcore from the beginning.
Yeah.
He ain't never fucked about, man.
No.
Always
and
called
and he's still the same now. But it's kind of, it comes down to the individual and
whether you're gonna sell your soul, mate.
Whether 100%.
That's basically it. You know,
100%. And back to what we were saying before we started, if you've got a firm set of principles or values, it will be very, very difficult for you to trade those in for silver and gold, so to speak, because you'll know what you're giving up. Whereas if you don't, it'll be really, really easy.
But people have got a weakness for gold and silver. They have a weakness. That mobile phone has indoctrinated into all of this younger generation that it's all about. Look, they've got girls on OnlyFans showing their private parts. I mean, come on. It's like, where's the girls? Get yourselves together. What are the geezers up to? Everybody wants to be a baller. We all want to be a drug dealer. We all want to drive this. We all want to drive that, because your show.
It's instant gratification, but
it's dopamine. It's dopamine fixes on that, but long term it doesn't work for anybody. Everyone's depressed indoors with the phones, bruv.
Bro, that's
one's happy.
And I'll show my jacket in a second.
It's all
but this is what it comes back around to. So when I was in the States, like, dude, I would never trade them days for anything. Yeah. Those were the best. Like, it was, don't get me wrong, it was a struggle. Like, I'm in a foreign country, getting on public transport to go to training and whatever, and coming back.
As a young man, what an experience, mate. To leave this country, go somewhere, be independent, check out the new food, the new way people are talking, get round the fucking world. And these motherfuckers now are sitting in their houses, in their fucking bedrooms, and they ain't never going to leave nowhere. Oh, yeah. So these lot are sitting in their bedrooms and they're doing nothing now apart from looking at someone else living life. Now they want to give you VR headsets. I tell you where they're taking you, brother. They're taking everybody to sit in your flat, put in your headphones and pretend you're at a beach. Whilst Deliveroo send you a sandwich.
But this is what I said to you before. Have you put on the VR headsets?
I've got a metaverse company. I've got a company that builds metaverse experiences.
So here's what's gonna happen. In a couple of years' time, the choice you're gonna have is, do I upgrade my mobile phone or do I get a VR headset? Because your phone's going to be in the VR headset, everything is going to be in there.
But Google's already got the glasses, and the Chinese glasses. I was looking at them yesterday. Like, boom, you look at the menu, translates the menu. Me and you are chatting, it's already turning your. So listen, no one's going to have a phone anymore. Bang, you're going to go to the glasses, and then this Elon Musk dude is going to put the chip in your head. And at the moment you got freedom, but at the minute that baby comes out of the womb of a mother, if she's allowed to have a baby because of the DNA that's all been mucked around with, then they're just going to take the baby, put a chip in it and give it back to her. You ain't going to have a choice because in a Chinese socialistic place, which is where we're all going, freedom of choice is not going to be about.
No, definitely, but I
don't want to be doom and gloom, but it does feel like doom and gloom out there, unless we all wake up.
Those are probably concepts that they do have legs and they do have proof. But I put it to you like this: do you think there's anything we can do to change it?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, I guess we'll come on to that. I guess we'll come on to that in a second.
100%.
I guess we'll come on to that in a second. But no, back to myself. I love talking about myself.
Yeah, no. Well, listen. Actually, so now you've come out of you've done America. Now,
and then after California, I went to Texas.
Texas. Didn't wear one of them cowboy hats, did you?
Dude, Texas is the best state in America.
Everybody says that.
And this is 10 years ago. Imagine it now.
Absolutely.
Texas was like Fort Worth, Texas. I had a blast.
Really?
So my uncle lived there, and he had 2 kids, and so I moved to a football club there.
Right. So now you're seeing the locals. You're mixing completely into it.
I'm one of the local, and he had 2 Land Rovers, and he was like, "Look, you can either sit around and I'll pick you up everywhere, or you can drive." I was like, "Give me them keys, man." And so I'm in the States just driving around.
Beautiful. Freedom. And it felt like freedom. So as a young man, to get on a plane and go somewhere else and see life, what is it? What did it do for you?
It completely changes you. You come back over here and
all the silliness, you see it as silliness. All the geezers standing on the street corners, sitting in the same block of flats, sitting on the same staircase, smoking weed on the same, spitting and sitting on the same staircase, man. You got to move on. But that's what they've taken away from you. They've taken away the ability and the wish for you young people to move on. And that's what this chat's about today.
That is what it is. And so I always ask people, so ever since so when I came back so after a couple of years they weren't renewing foreign contracts anymore. I was like, you know what, I'm all good. I made some really good contacts over in the States.
Been a good experience.
I'm an oil and gas professional, and gas city over there. Yeah. Made some contacts, came over, and managed and picked up some work. People would always give me contract work and stuff like that. And
so what was you doing? When did you finish in terms of law, contract law, or on the oil and gas, or was you on the? So what was you doing?
So I did a law degree,
right?
And then I specialised in oil and gas law. So basically, that's it's
contract law.
Yeah, basically contract law and like exploration contracts and stuff like that,
yeah,
and whatnot. And so someone with that expertise, you're always going to pick up work, right. Because whether it's private families or big corporates, they're always going to want someone with that skill set. And so I've always managed to keep it going.
And are you still doing that?
No.
Has that been done by AI now because of the algorithm?
No. People are still doing it because you need human input. But I transitioned into the renewables a long time ago.
Right. So how did you get into renewable? Because that's actually the conversation that me and you started. You went to me, I'm going to do this. And I went, blah, blah, blah. I already knew that. So, I started doing carbon reverse capture about 15 years ago. We had a plant that was doing 1 ton of carbon capture a long time ago. And I started looking into food production, growing hemp, and then creating harvesting the hemp for the oil, and then the stems we were remanufacturing into a sterile food medium to grow food in anywhere in the world. Because at the moment it's all grown in rock wool, which is a very harmful and you can't actually get rid of it. And our byproduct went onto the top of the land. So me and you bumped into each other, and you told me I'm going to go and build a plant in Africa, and I said, how are you going to do it? And you said, I've got sugarcane and I'm going to do a biomass thing. So tell me all about it. Where are you with the project? Start from the beginning, because that's what we want to know about.
So part of my thesis in my master's was actually on building renewable energy plants.
Perfect.
So just to let people know, the oil industry is well on top of renewables. They're just gonna drip feed it because
and it's part of the energy. It's a part of the energy sector. So
definitely. And so my my final project was actually on what I built a business on.
Right.
And this is like, did that, passed it, went off to America, whatever, and came back and worked for a couple of years. And then I was like, what do I want to do with myself? I know I've never been a person who's going to sit down and be told what to do by someone else.
I'm too active. I'm on the go.
Yeah.
I'm
My brain's too sharp for that. And so I was like, all right, cool. If I'm going to set up a business, and this is the way I look at any sort of business, it's got to be worth my time, but it's also got to
have some value at the other end.
You know what I mean? Create value for myself and create value for a lot of people around me.
We interrupted this broadcast due to YouTube's algorithm. Continue watching on the link below.